So another holiday season and another year has come and gone. Although this time of year can be joyous for many, we should remember that it is also a time for some that is not so celebratory. Seems as though time has been a theme for me this year, as well as truth. The truth is time keeps moving forward, and it would seem to be moving faster with each new year. And with each ending comes a new, they say. As we may find ourselves reflecting on the past year and the events we have endured, whether we found ourselves where we thought we wanted to be or where we were guided to in a new direction that we could not foresee, I'd like to believe that at any given moment, we are where we're supposed to be. So, my friends, I ask you, where have you been? Where are you now? And where might we be heading in the coming year? These are just a few of the thoughts and questions that we'll explore today, so stay with me. Welcome back, my Dark Side crew, and if you're new here, welcome. On this channel, we explore some of the darker sides of humanity and some possible explanations as to how we as a collective can understand where we find ourselves in this moment in time, and how we arrived here, how we may possibly learn from these experiences and create a better outcome going forward in our lives. Always remember to subscribe on any platform that you find us, and you can always reach out if you desire on our website at tdsothc.com. And with that said, let's dive into this new year together. So 2023 is now in the rearview mirror, so to speak, and in our sights, 2024. What shall it bring forth? That is the prevailing question. This has been an interesting year for most, to say the least. Despite some horrendous events the entire world has experienced in 2023, and actually since 2020, if we're honest with ourselves, we found our spirits yearning for calmer days and some good times, of course, and some sense of normalcy, given these past several years of the, what I like to call, COVIDiocy, and all that entailed. As I stated in my What Time Is It episode, I kind of checked out over the summer and, to recoup and reconnect with family and long time lost friends, and it's been a soul enhancing experience. I wish more people understood the beautiful effects this kind of intentional interaction has on the mind, the body, and the soul. As most of us do, we start out the new year with such high hopes for the future and say goodbye to the past that didn't quite work out, the way that we had hoped it would. We may take a brief moment to reminisce on those moments that brought us joy and a sense of peace. A brief moment to reflect on what could have been, what should have been, and what may come in our personal and collective future. As we take one last look at where we were this time last year, and in that reflection, we can see what had transpired and some of our plans, our hopes, and our dreams that either came to fruition or not. Either way, if you're still breathing, you're still moving forward. So let's explore some new ways to make it worth it. Now, as I've said before, I'm not one who resonates with resolutions for the new year, but rather one who contemplates on where the past has taken me and what lessons were brought forth for me to evaluate and to ultimately grow from. Sometimes we take a moment to seek an inner peace and a resolution to the fact that life has a way of removing people or situations from our lives that we thought were worthy of our time and attention, and bringing in new people and experiences that could take us to a higher level of resonance with our true nature, our soul's purpose in this incarnation. You see, to me, I welcome this new year, and I'm excited for the changes coming, as one thing I have realized about me is that I can't be broken. Yes, I'm capable of fracturing, as we all are, but we are human. And the more empathically we live our lives, the more we realize, yes, people or situations can uplift us or bring us misery and pain. But we can always take that lesson and use it as a stepping stone to heal not only ourselves, but others who genuinely desire healing. And I, like many, have faced the demons time and again that were sent to destroy me on several occasions in my life. And I find that no matter what happens with my circumstances, I have the ability to see bigger, the bigger picture of a situation, to rise above rhetoric, learn from experiences, heal, and then move forward. Unfortunately, most people are not able to ascend to this level yet, and they continue to wander aimlessly in the desert, seeking that vital liquid essence that is always just a mirage appearing real. We have all been there at some time, some point in our life, that's true. To seek within, not without, to bring our soul what it so desperately needs. Genuine love on a personal soul level. I've gone through some major spiritual changes this past year, having been triggered, if you will, by some events and some people that had led me on a journey of self-reflection and, yes, self-discovery. I had pushed through my comfort zone, ascended above the pain of loss, and came out on the other side with some very radical revelations. A rebirth, if you will. We live and we learn, right? What might I be referring to, you might be wondering? Well, let's just say that if I did make resolutions, I have decided to stop showing up for people and situations that do not serve my soul's highest good, especially if they are out of alignment with growth. Although it's hard to do sometimes because it is in my nature to go out of my way to help people or create opportunities for others that actually they should be creating for themselves. So that is an ongoing goal for me now. So stay in my lane, if you will, right? It is especially disappointing when you put effort and vulnerability out there and it is not reciprocated but rather disregarded. At the same time, we may have wanted to speak our minds and let certain people know that their behavior was maybe downright disrespectful, dishonest, disloyal. Simply put, they and the whole world should be put on notice today, as the days of playing me and you for a fool are over. There were moments this past year where we should have called people out on their bullshit, and yet, because confrontation, for me personally, has never really been one of my strongest attributes until pushed to my limits. So, I quietly allowed them to expose their truest self and their false pretenses as I remained silent but observant, as I realized we cannot change those who refuse to recognize their lack of compassion or respect for another's feelings, or may refuse to acknowledge and deal with the core of their unhappiness. That being said, I was inspired recently when the great Elon said, "Go fuck yourself," to the CEO of Disney and advertisers who threatened to pull their advertising dollars from his platform X if he did not go along with their demands. This is what should have been my response on a few occasions this past year, when I had allowed myself to be a little too vulnerable with certain people that I should not have. But I am of the mindset that hurt people hurt people. So I simply remove myself from their orbit and learn whatever lessons were brought, and I keep it moving. The lesson being, when people show you who they are, believe them, and leave them to their self-induced misery. We can't fix people, and it's not our job at the end of the day to continue to care about those who couldn't care less about us. You see, this new year brings with it a blank slate, in my opinion, and it affords us the opportune moment to recognize what we need to change about ourselves, what we will and will not allow to exist in our future, to stop letting people have the ability to influence our lives and our emotions if it's not honest and beneficial for all involved. It's time that we recognize that we are in a time where most people of the world don't give a damn about you. And they'll do whatever it takes to use you and get what they desire to advance their personal or professional agendas. And that's just a fact that we find ourselves living in a narcissistic society. How did we get here? But today we should recognize that we have the power to change that. Today we stand our ground and take back our personal power to develop a new understanding of who and what we are in this game of life. Today we commit to ourselves by refusing to engage in irrelevant, meaningless small talk from small minds, as in, if it's not deep, soul-searching, intellectual conversations, I'm out. We no longer have the time to put others' needs and wants ahead of our own. If it is not in our best interest, no longer will we accept less than what we deserve. No longer will we accept emotional platitudes, as in false pretenses of emotions, require and demand respect from the people and situations we allow to remain. Or we find it may be beneficial to extricate ourselves from their sphere. Okay, got that little rant out. I'm good. Just some things I've been thinking about, I am so grateful for having the knowledge that I matter. My feelings matter. I am and always will be a good person. And if someone doesn't recognize that, about me, then obviously it will be short-term at best, as I don't have the time or desire anymore to continue to deal with people or situations that don't resonate with me. This year we must create our own peace through healing and tranquility by understanding that we and only we have the right to say yes or no to any given situation in any moment. One that may or may not resonate with our soul purpose. Again, it's that self-worth, temperance, and ever-evolving should be the forefront this year, moving forward as we venture into the unknown. But in saying this, you must understand that in creating our peace, it means not harming anyone else in doing so. Karma is real, and she can be a bitch. It means we must accept people or situations for exactly who they are. But we do not have to allow them to bring us down, to that level where we can't function on a healthy and spiritual plane. When I say to you that you must put yourself first, and your country first for that matter, it's not from a place of selfishness, but a place of selfless self-preservation, a place of self-honor and self-love. Because without those two qualities, we really can't give to another what we don't possess. Make sense? It's no secret to many that this coming year may be filled with a lot of continued chaos and confusion on a level that we may have never experienced before. That's a given. in this highly contentious political and economic climate that we find ourselves in. But at the same time, we do not need to live our every waking moment in fear nor resistance of what may or may not occur. That's living a fear-based existence, not healthy. You see, I believe that we create our reality by what we allow our minds to hold on to. If we see only the bad and never acknowledge that there is still good to be had, still beautiful humans yet to discover, we will only create more of the same of whatever our mental bent is. Might it be what some refer to as the law of attraction? Who knows? But this is my philosophical and psychological premise. This year I have had to change some personal and business directions and have created new opportunities in my little world that I have been creating for the past few months, and started a new company. I'm really excited about that. And if it goes well, which it should, by this time next year, I'm officially going to be joining the Snowbird Club. As in, I will live up north a couple months in the summer and visit family, and in the south over the winter, somewhere really, really warm. I'm creating an opportunity so that I can live anywhere in the world. I just need to figure out where that is. I'm really kind of over the snow myself, personally. I'm looking forward to these new experiences, looking forward to meeting new souls, and have decided to call in more of my tribe and hopefully my true soulmate by maintaining my commitment to my goals, personally and professionally, and opening up my world to some exciting times, no matter how crazy the times may be. You see, I believe that life is for the taking, and it's really up to each and every one of us to decide what we want to go for and go for it. Time really is of the essence, and I, for one, am not planning on wasting time this year waiting for things to manifest. If I want it, I find a way to manifest it. As I've said, I realize that we are in some precarious times, and everyone's story is different. Some better, some worse than others, of course. But I believe that if we surround ourselves with like-minded people, like my beautiful crew here, a genuine support system, if you don't have that currently, get out there and find them. They may not be the people who are currently in your life, and it's up to you to evaluate those who you surround yourself with. Make those changes if that's what is needed, and begin to find your tribe. You're going to need them sooner than you think. Trust me on this. How do you do that? Well, maybe you can begin by getting involved in activities that resonate with your soul. Do things that excite you, whatever that may be. Maybe start with your living space, as in clear it out of things and people that are just cluttering up your life. Maybe move to a totally new location. Get some new hobbies. If you had some problems that have been ongoing in your life, and you may have developed some psychological issues, seek counsel with a professional that can help you digest and work through such issues. Spend time developing yourself, whatever that means to you, be it physical, mental, spiritual, artistically, or anything you feel that may help you level up. We should all be leveling up all the time. One step at a time, one moment at a time, though. You can't do it all in a day. So it all begins and ends with you. Just know that nothing in life is promised. No one is perfect. And all we can really do is our best advocate for personal change. I believe that if we all commit to a personal advancement, that it will always lead to achievement. If there's one thing I can leave you with today, and it's this: always remain in your high vibrations and live with passion. Never stop hugging with passion, kissing with passion, speaking and doing things with loving intentions. Start living your best life by letting today be that first day of the rest of your life, as they say. My followers know that music is a big part of my DNA. And if you really want to set the tone for the new year, as well as get in the mood for passion, may I suggest the most passionate song I've ever heard still holds true to this day? It holds the secret key. That would be The Secret Garden by Quincy Jones and Barry White. I have been playing this one on loop all day. As many of you know, I do that sometimes. So if you have a partner, put this amazing song on and see where it leads you. Go do it right after the podcast is through. If you don't have a partner, put it on anyway and use it as a background meditation in your life right now to bring you that passionate person this year. Ooh la la, right? Sounds like someone's on a mission this year. Yes, I am. Actually, we're going really deep this year, so reach out and share a secret with me. I promise not to tell anyone, but it may be a great topic for an upcoming episode. So blow my mind. Send me something. I do have some changes coming to the podcast this year, and I'm excited to share them with you. New topics, new interviews, and I'll also be recommending and analyzing some books that I believe you may like, and sharing a passage or two to pique your intellectual appetite. Unfortunately, we don't read or take the time to read or have the time to read, they say, enough books today by authors who have so much knowledge to share with us. And I'd like to expose you to some of their great works. We'll see where that goes, of course. One of the first books I'll be sharing with you soon is by an author, Mark Manson. And I do believe in synchronicities, and his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, has been making itself known to me for some time now. So I'm diving into it as we speak. It's currently on my nightstand and really has so far been very enlightening. On one hand, I find it to be an insightful way of living for your best self by realizing when to give a fuck and when to know where our attentions are being wasted. So look forward to that one. So my loves, I really wanted this to be short today. They never usually are. I really wish each and every one of you all the health, love, and peace your heart and hands can hold this new year. And I believe it's going to be an insane one for sure. But if you understand that you have the power and the intellect to see beyond the veil, to stand your ground, keep peace in your soul, and always strive to do better than you did yesterday. Yesterday's been a theme lately too. Never forget to lift someone else up when possible. Keep being the beautiful soul that you are. We will make it through, and maybe along the way, we will find our joy through living the most authentic life possible. So as we say goodbye to 2023 and maybe those old acquaintances, maybe we cherish the good things we found as we move into the new year. Let's capture the optimism, challenges ahead, and introspections that this new year is sure to bring with an open mind, an open heart, and a new perspective. It is the year of the dragon, so with that thought in mind, let's burn down the old and build anew. I love you all, and may this new year be the beginning of your best years. Happy New Year, my loves. I'll close today, as always, with the quote of the day that I find to be fitting to wrap up this past year's theme about time and truth and launch us into the new. Begin doing what you want to do now. We are not living in eternity. We have only this moment, sparkling like a star in our hand and melting like a snowflake. By Francis Bacon Sr. So until we meet again, as always, remember to walk in the light, on the dark side, right here where your vibe attracts your tribe.